You may ask the question, how did the federal government ever come to have title to these lands in the first place? Why did we ever get there, right? You go back to 1763. And in 1763, when the king granted the colonial charters to the colonies, he said, here's your colony, here's the boundary of your colony. And to 7 of them, he said, you can have claim over the western lands. 6 of them, no claims. You get the boundary of your colony. 7 of them have claims, that word, they use that word. 7 of you have claim over the western lands. 1776 now, right? Lives, fortunes, sacred honor. And they sign that pledge and they look to Robert Morris and they say, Robert, we want you to finance this operation. Robert Morris funded the first $2 million of the revolution by himself in 1776. By 1780, Robert Morris is broke and the nation, this group of states, is broke. The war is not over. Can you imagine? In 1780, you're out of money and you got the British just steaming down on you.
Go to another country?
Go to another country? You're going to loan money on that deal?
No.
Raise taxes, perhaps, right? Raise taxes on the original Tea Party crowd. Are you going to do that? The 7 said, we're not going there. The 7 said, you know what? We have claims to these western lands. We'll sell our claims to the western lands. You 6? Good luck. Imagine if you're one of the 6. Imagine if you're one of the 6. The 6 said, we're going to have to raise taxes. You're going to sell claims to the western lands. We're contributing our blood and treasure into this operation. Our people are going to leave our states because we're raising taxes. They're going to go to your states, and we're putting our blood and treasure into this, and you're going to be these big landed states at the end of this deal. It doesn't work for us. We're not good with this. Done. Imagine. Imagine. At the very birth of our nation, Continental Congress stepped up and said, we have an idea. Let us have the land. Time out. Fighting a war against a land baron. Our first act in the founding of our nation is not going to be the establishment of a land baron, no matter how perilous this is. Oh, no, no, no. What we meant to say, and they came back with a resolution in 1780. What we meant to say was, we'll hold these lands in trust. What the resolution says is, be it resolved that the unappropriated lands, which is the word that we still use today, because this is where the public land question started. Be it resolved that the unappropriated lands which shall be ceded to the United States by the states shall be disposed of for the common benefit, that meant to fund the war, and shall be formed into distinct republican states with the same rights of sovereignty, freedom, and independence as all the other states. And it'll be granted under such regulations as Congress may prescribe. Create new states, use the proceeds to pay the public debt, no other use or purpose whatsoever. On that basis, New York ceded its lands only to create new states, only to pay the debt, no other use or purpose whatsoever. 3 other states did the same thing before the Constitution. North Carolina and Georgia, they don't cede their lands until 1802. Georgia in 1802, they were the last one. Well, that's way after the Constitution. Why are they still doing that when we have a Constitution? You see in Article 6, Clause 1 of the Constitution, it says all engagements entered into before the Constitution shall be valid and binding after the Constitution. And in the Congressional Public Lands testimony and hearings in the 1830s, they call this one of the engagements that was the basis upon which states relied in ceding their land, which formed the very basis for the foundation of our nation. But for that, we may have perished at birth as a nation. That's how critical this public lands question is. This is where the public land question started.